So, hey Chucklefucks, it's your boy, Dark Ragu, here with another What If Part 3 for What If Issei had a God Devilfruit. Now, yesterday I did upload the, Hunger Special, just because, well, I got 100 subscribers, and it keeps going up each passing day. Well, passing day, but, I don't know, I can't speak right now. But, yeah. Each passing day, it keeps growing and growing and growing. I wasn't expecting to grow that fast, but yeah. Of course, let me also mention one thing. This is part 3. Yeah, I already mentioned that. I think so. Fuck's sake. But yeah, I also am going to do a requested what if. Well, kind of. It's suggested mostly. Not requested. Mostly suggested. And I really thought it was broken as fuck because all you have to do is just eat and he's broken. That's all I'm going to say. He will probably comment in this video, but other than that, not the point. Let me begin into this what if, and let me shut the fuck up. Not finish it, but yeah. But of course, I should also mention that on that what's called special what if, I did leave it off on a cliffhanger because, well, first of all, I don't really know what happens in the manga because I haven't read the manga yet. I only read like one chapter, then said, fuck it, I'll read it later. And I haven't read it to this day because I think I read it on December the 31st. But realized that, yeah, I'll do it later. And I couldn't have done it any other day because, well, that whole week I was working that whole day. Most every day. But yeah, I couldn't really read one chapter. It was such annoying, but yeah. But of course, I'm going to try to read it. And if I get to the end and whatever, because I feel like it hasn't been updated because there's only like 69 chapters or something. 70 or something. I don't remember. But of course, I'll try to read all of it and yeah. But also, I want to mention one thing. I have another what if. I was going to do that what if as a special because it was a what if that I thought about because you see here. That what if, which before the Jade Emperor what if, that Jade Emperor what if was just going to be a normal what if instead of being the special, but I kind of made it into the special because the other one I am still watching an anime to fucking get more ideas because I still need to figure out how the fuck this ability is going to work because I only heard about it a couple of times, but yeah. Not the point. I've been taking 2 minutes of time. Let me begin to this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But before I do that, let me drink some water because I'm thirsty right now. Okay, let me begin. But yeah, I should also mention that throughout this what if, I might be drinking water just in case if people understand because I kind of get too dry in my mouth because yesterday I was doing that on a what if, mostly the special, but yeah. So, sorry about that, just a heads up, but yeah. Because, yeah, let me just continue on, but yeah, let me shut the fuck up. I am continuing, way too much rambling on and whatever. Let me begin. So, we go into Issei, Law, and Gasper. Now, Gasper's just training with Law and Issei. Now, of course, Issei is trying to figure out how to do room. He found out how to do it and started kind of realizing that he has the power to prank everyone. This is where, well, Law realized that Issei finally figured that fucking shit out. Because Issei kind of, he kind of gets easy. Okay, so you see here, the Logia Devilfruits are easier for him to manifest than the permission, or how the fuck do you say that? I'm gonna say permission on accident, but what's it called? Permission is a little bit more difficult for Issei to kind of figure out. He kind of did figure out how to go into rubber, and that was a permission kind of Devilfruit. But like any other type of like permission Devilfruit is going to be a little bit more difficult for Issei to kind of figure out. Logias are so much easier because they're just elements, and he can easily control the element around his body. But yeah, but permission is going to be a little bit more difficult. And also, Zoan is going to be a little bit more difficult for him to kind of understand what the hell he's doing with that. But he doesn't really know the 3 types of Devilfruits. He only been using Logia for a while. Of course, he did kind of use the Quake Devilfruit because it came easier for him. He was just thinking very destructive power, but yeah. But of course, not the point. Let me go back into what if. So, of course, this is where Issei, he finally figured out how to use the Opoponumi. And this is where, well, Law and Issei right now had these grins, this evilish grins on their face. This is where, well, they look at Gasper, and Gasper just looked confused, like he was just he was just blinking confusedly, seeing his two kind of older brother figures. He already kind of calls Issei and Law older brother figures because they basically help him how to train, how to use his abilities professionally, kind of. But at the same time, they're pretty much just helping him out, seeing him like a little brother. Now, of course, this is where they both have these evil grins, and Gasper is just confused. This is where we go into a time skip of Issei, Law, and Gasper. Right now freezing the whole school because Gasper uses his ability. And of course, where the whole school is right now frozen. There's a bunch of students just frozen, guys, girls, whatever. This is where, Issei has this bucket of pink paint to throw at the guys. This is where, Law has this bucket of just this like black paint to throw at the girls. This is where, they decide to start throwing it around each person because, yeah, they have loads and loads of buckets because Issei actually figure out how to use another Devilfruit that was kind of, I think it was a permission Devilfruit. Pretty much it was I think it was door no me, which he allows to make a door and he can just throw stuff in there or kind of grab things from that place because he's going to kind of go to another kind of place. But yeah, so of course Issei's just getting loads and loads of painted buckets through that one dimension thing. So of course this is where he kind of just starts tossing it at every person. This is where Gasper is kind of giggling, thinking this is a funny prank. And this is where, both Law and Issei are just grinning with these mad looks in their faces. Well, not mad looks, mostly just laughing faces. But yeah, like they're gonna be bursting laughter after this. This is where, this is where after they finish the last bucket of paint, they mostly throw it at a couple of students. You see here, these students are mixed with human, devils, angels, and fallen angels. Well, mostly fallen angels, not that many angels in there. But this is where, Issei says, Gasper, let's go. Gasper says, I understand. This is where he stops freezing stuff. This is where, Law, Issei, and, Gasper get to the corner. And this is where, they look over it. Gasper is underneath what's it called, Law, because Law is actually bigger than Gasper. Issei is on the other side. Well, not on the same side of what's it called, Gasper and Law, but this is where Issei is on the other side looking from that corner. This is where, the time is already unfrozen. This is where everyone is screaming, what the fuck? This is where, they all have just paint all over them. Pink paint mostly for the guys, and girls kind of have black paint. Black and white paint because Law kind of ran out of black paint because, Issei kind of got the wrong color of paint. He just actually got white also. So, of course, the girls glares at the guys and the guys glares at the girls thinking that this is some kind of prank because they're the only ones there. They don't see Law, Issei, or Gasper. This is where, they are right now trying to contain their giggles because, first of all, they don't want to actually burst out in laughter. But this is where, Issei kind of says room. This is where, Issei say shamble. This is where, he just switched what's it called, Law, and what's it called, Gasper, and himself out of there by kind of just teleporting. But yeah, this is where, everyone heard like these duds, which they turned to ran to the end of the hallway and turned to the corner and just saw 3 rocks on the ground. That's what they say, what the fuck? This is where we're going to Issei, Law, and even Gasper right now dying out of laughter. This is where, Issei was just giggling like a madman because this shit was too funny for him. This is where, Law was just bursting out in laughter, realizing that, fuck, this is funny. This is where, Gasper just giggling, but yeah. This is where, they keep doing this for a couple of days before before we go into the kind of like whole meeting between the fallen angels, the devils, and angels. Issei and Gasper has been doing this, and also Law has been being not the perverted trio, but instead the troll trio, because they basically just been trolling the whole school and painting them in different colors. Soya was already pissed and annoyed with Issei's doing, because Issei is broken, of course, but of course she kind of had this tint, mostly this, tint of pink every time Issei was kind of doing this. It's kind of funny, yes, but at the same time it's messy. But Issei did kind of clean it up one time, just because, well, Soya did ask him to do it. Didn't demand of him to do it, mostly asked him. This is where Issei says, fine. This is where he used two different elements. He first used a Devilfruit that was called the Umi, well not Umi, mostly, yeah, Umi no Mi, meaning water. And this is where he then used also another type called Fuma no Mi, being wind. But yeah, basically two Logia Devilfruits, one that was water and one that was wind. This is where he uses the water to kind of splash around the whole place, the whole hallway that was all colored up. And of course, this is where, well, some of the members of Soya were about to be affected by the paint that was rushing towards them, but wind wall blocked them and mostly carried the water that was full of paint in a wind ball. This is where, well, he then activated using a door when mostly kind of realized that this would be a waste of paint. He then glances towards Sanji, and Sanji realized that Issei is going to target him. This is where Issei he grins with this evilish smile, and this is where Soya say, Issei-kun, can you stop? This is where, well, Issei said, wait, what? What did you call me? This is where, well, Soya says, I didn't call you anything, I just told you Issei. Can you just please stop, okay? Just throw it away or something. Don't you dare throw it towards Sanji. This is where Issei says, sure. Issei walks past her. This is where, well, Issei kind of just has this weird, just confused look, because he knows that Soya won't call him Kun or anything, because first of all, she's not, what's it called, someone that's close to Issei at all. He's just so damn confused. But of course, well, Issei said, sure, I'll go bring it back towards where I need to go. This is where Sanji did ran off because he wasn't going to be a target. Sanji's right now hiding behind a bush, realizing that there's no Issei, until he hears, he says room. He hears the word room, and this is where he says, who the fuck is talking about room? This is where, well, Shamble. Switch, mostly Issei switches behind Sanji that had a rock behind him, and this is where Issei says, hello there, Sanji. This is where Sanji turns around and says, Issei, no, wait! He gets smashed with an air bubble, well, mostly an air bubble full of water paint. This is where, well, Sanji is soaked and his clothes are painted. Issei is burst out laughing, saying, damn, you look very colorful, man. You look like you would definitely be able to get any girls. This is where, well, Sanji says, shut the fuck up. Why are you like this? What happened to your perverted nature? This is where Issei says, sorry about that, Sanji. That perverted nature wasn't something that I usually like to show most of the time. Actually, it was just something that was, I should say, there just because of my sadness. Just to kind of get rid of my depressedness. Or, yeah. This is where Sanji says, wait, you were depressed? Kinda. But not no more. Since I have the ability to prank everyone. Issei has this like evil ass grin. This is where Issei says, but whatever. This is where Issei takes a picture of Sanji, and this is where Sanji says, what are you doing? Don't worry, I sent it to Sona. Don't worry. She's going to probably be laughing, giggling about how I did this to you. This is where, well, Sanji says, no, you can't. This is where Issei jumps out of the way and says, yes, I can. Bye. This is where Issei says, Pico no Mi, light. This is where he transforms to light, just went up in the air and just went away. But yeah, this is where, well, Sanji went in his eyes and realized that he fucked. His just chance and trying to get Soya to like him is out of the question. But yeah. Or well, not Soya, mostly Sona, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, Ria's kind of asking Issei to come along. This is where Law is actually staying with, what's it called, Gasper, and also Kuniko, but yeah. This is where, well, Gasper is talking to Law, and this is where Law is saying that we should definitely continue the pranks. This is where, well, Law is actually mapping out what to do with all the pranks, but yeah. This is where, well, Kuniko is right now just glancing at Law and what's it called, Casper, but not caring at the same time playing video games, but yeah. This is where, well, she's also eating, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is with what's it called, Rias and the others. This is where, well, Issei is kind of wearing different clothes from the clothes of, well, the uniform. He's wearing, what's it called? This like brownish, well, not brownish. He's wearing like his reddish jacket with a, what's it called, whitish shirt. And of course, well, he's kind of wearing what's it called, black pants and just these black shoes. But yeah, Sona looks at him with disapproving look of eyes, and also Reyes. But yeah, but pretty much Issei just chooses to kind of like wear something that isn't just his regular clothes. But yeah, or regular uniform clothes. He didn't really care. That's where, well, Issei is just kind of there, and this is where, well, the meeting starts, and this is where, well, Sir X is talking to Azo is talking to Sir X, and also Michael, but yeah, the whole meeting will go the original same. This is where, well, Azo then asks Issei, what is better, war or, what's it called, a peace treaty? This is where Issei said, well, I'm not experiencing it, I'll say peace treaty. I don't really want to start a war with anyone. Not really. Unless my brother does command and my older brother does command to start wars, but I don't know if he will. This is where Azel says, older brother? What are you... This is where, well, time freezes and everyone was confused. This is where Issei was confused. But luckily he wasn't affected thanks to Drake, but also his Devilfruit stopping it. He instead unfreezes everything that was in the room. His Devilfruit reacted to unfreeze everything that was in the room. Even Sona and the others were unfreeze. They were like, what is happening? This is where, well, Vali kind of just glanced at Issei confusedly because, first of all, he knows about the plan about the Chaos Patrol. And of course, he is saying, how the fuck? He then looks outside. He sees still the fallen angels, devils, and angels still frozen. He thinks good. But this is where, well, the Chaos Brigade or whatever, Chaos people are actually finally starting to attack. And this is where, well, Hazel says, what is happening? This is where, well, he says, damn it, we're being attacked by a fourth party. This is where, well, everyone is kind of shocked. And this is where Issei said, so I should go out there and fight them, right? This is where, well, Rhea said, but how? What's it called? Isn't it law with, what's it called, Gasper? How did they, how? This is where we go into Law. Law is right now in the Bastion. Law gets out of the Bastion, says, what the fuck just happened? He then looks into that room, sees that everyone is gone, mostly Kaneko, and also what's it called, Law? I mean, not Law, mostly Gasper. This is where, well, Law says, shit. And this is where, well, Law right now uses Observation Hawking to figure out where they're at, and realize that they're actually trapped at a place. He can still figure them out, even if there's a barrier spell right now blocking anyone from sensing where they're at. But yeah, but this is where, well, Law noticed that, well, what's it called, Gasper does some kind of spell that froze everything, but he wasn't really affected. So of course, this is where, well, Law kind of walks towards that place without a care. This is where, well, he then says room. Right now there's a small bubble that appears in his hand, and this is where right now he says shamble. This is where a sword appears. This is where, well, Law says, oh, time to save the kid. And also the white-haired girl. Oh, God. This is such a drag, he said in his head. This is where, well, Issei said, so do I take them out? This is where, well, Rhea says, what about Gasper? Issei says, don't worry, I think Law went to probably do something. It probably will be ending at a while. This is where, well, we go into Law and, well, Gasper kind of rescuing them. This is where, well, Law appears right in the middle between all of them, and this is where he says room. Still again, well, he still made another bubble around, what's it called, all these people. And this is where Law, he only snaps his fingers, well, doesn't snap his fingers, swing his sword once, like a couple of times. And this is where all of them are right now sliced into just bits, but yeah, well, not bits, mostly apart. This is where they're confused and they're still able to talk. And this is where, well, Gasper widened his eyes, seeing his older brother, Law, actually help him. This is where Koneko is just shocked with how Law's abilities work. This is where Law decides to put them all together, all mismatch, because he doesn't give a fuck. He kind of just pushed him out of the way and doesn't care. This is where he says, hey kid, what is happening? This is where, well, Gasper says, I don't know. They attack us and I have to bet my ability to try to freeze them, but I instead don't know what I did. This is where, well, Koneko says, hey, can you get us out of here? This is where, well, Law says, I don't know much about magic circles. So, but I don't know. This is where, well, Law instead just puts both of his hands into Armorman Hawking and just punches the side of the walls, mostly next to where the magic circle will be at, and actually erased them. This is where, well, he neutralized them by destroying the two magic circles. Koneko fall down, but of course managed to land down. This is where Casper was about to fall, but Law got him. He says, "You okay, kid?" This is where Law says, "Yeah, I am." This is where, well, mostly the time spell thing that was up in the sky is still being affected, but this is where it's kind of undoing itself pretty slowly, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei said, see, Law actually managed to do something. This is where, well, as they'll tell Volley to still kind of fight off the people, but yeah. Issei noticed that Volley is, like, destroying these people, but yeah, what I care. But of course, where, well, they're all about to get out there, but this is where, well, Ria said, Issei, are you going out there also? Issei said, of course. What else do you think I'm going to be doing? Not attacking them? It's fine. I won't cause too much trouble. This is where, well, Issei says, besides, I wanted to test out something so fun. Issei, right now, his hand is crackling with lightning. And this is where, well, Issei said, let's see. 100k volt of lightning dragon. Well, he didn't say one lightning dragon. He said two twin lightning dragons. This is where his hand right now sparkles, and right now 2 twisting lightning dragons appear from his hand, mostly arm. This is where they launch through the window, and right now rushes at the Chaos Brigade with high speeds. This is where, well, they're all shocked, mostly the Chaos people, and this is where they get hit by the lightning dragon, actually just disappear, but yeah, turn to ash. This is where Issei says, huh, pathetic weaklings. This is where, well, Issei is grinning, but yeah, this is where, well, the others are kind of just shocked with Issei's power, as they was mostly shocked because first of all, he was thinking that this man was going to go into Red Dragon Emperor. He wasn't expecting lightning to come from his fucking hand. Also, he was also pretty damn shocked with what's it called, mostly Michael was shocked also. The Lamented girl, mostly Sona's older sister, was kind of shocked, but yeah. This is where, well, she was very impressed with Issei being able to use a lightning dragon. Now, of course, Sir Zex has already known about Issei kind of using a Devilfruit, where it kind of, mostly he kind of got clues and other things from his like older brother, Issei's older brother who is Rosinante, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, well, that should take care of some of them. There's still a lot of them attacking, but this is where Issei said, this is where Issei kind of does realize that he made a giant hole and all the other things. This is where Issei says, well, I'm going to be going out there. This is where, well, he then waves at Rias and says, see you, Rias. I'm going to be going out there, okay? This is where, well, Issei jumps down. And this is where Issei says, ice wall. This is where he puts his leg down. And this is where an ice wall appears. Very huge. This is where, well, he managed to freeze a lot of the people that were kind of almost to the ground, but managing to still fly up there. This is where most of them got frozen. Issei just smiles because it was called Ice Glacier that he did. It wasn't just an ice one, Ice Glacier. This is where, oh, Issei just grins because there's some of them that were actually meant to be pierced. This is where, oh, Issei says, pathetic weaklings. Of course, his leg is a little bit frozen, but this is where he adds a little bit of fire just to, well, not be frozen too much, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei said, well, I should really thank that one homeless man about helping me out with that whole problem. Thanks to me seeing his ability, I now figure out how to do it. A little bit. Still sucks, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei was going to then use a fire attack. This is where he says, fire style. This is where, well, not fire style. This is where he right now uses his left hand, and this is where an igniting fire appears. Combustion flames. Combustion flame, flamethrower. This is where he sent his fist right now in front of him, launching flames to the sky and burning some people. This is where, well, Issei just grins and saying, yeah, they're not going to be able to defeat me. This is where multiple attacks try to aim for him, but this is where Issei just grins and rushes towards him. This is where Issei says, Pico Pico no mi. He transformed his body into light. Light shot. This is where he ran into almost a bunch of them, hitting them, well, straight through them by turning himself, well, mostly himself, into light. This is where, well, Issei then kind of just transform out of light in the sky, and this is where multiple of them realize that Issei's an idiot. Issei smiles and says, he clasps both of his hands together, and this is where he says, Guru no Mi, lightning, one pillar of heavenly strike. This is where a giant white light appears all around Issei. This is where one just giant pillar of light. This is where all of them wind their eyes and a lightning just strike them down. This huge just blast radius of just plasma just strikes Issei down, but also all of them down. Issei, that was in the middle of all this, wasn't affected because he was already having his body made out of lightning. Instead, he got charged more up. This is where Issei grins. But of course, there's a huge ass hole in the, what's it called, the courtyard of the school. But with that happening, Issei is just smiling. You weaklings can't even defeat me. This is where Issei then swings the lightning, what's it called, vines from his hand. He says lightning vines. This is where he swings them all around him, just cutting what's it called, or mostly just ripping through a bunch of these Chaos Brigade. But yeah, this is where, well, these Chaos members, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Issei is grinning. He knows that none of them are going to be able to defeat him. This is where, well, everyone else is going down there to kind of fight. This is where, well, Azel still fights against what's called that Levante girl, mostly the true descendant of Levante or whatever. This is where, well, everyone is fighting, and of course, is where they hear laughter. This is quite an interesting show to see. This is where, well, they all turn around to the side of themselves. Even Azel and the Levante person kind of stop fighting for a second and just turn. And this is where, well, a bunch of Chaos members were just torn. And I mean not torn, mostly cut into a million pieces. There was about 100 of them, and there were, well, not 100 of them, like at least 500 of them, and they were all easily just sliced into just tiny cubes. This is where, well, they look to the tree sideline, and of course they see someone walking out like this. So this is how the person walks. Yes, he walks like Doflamingo, but yeah. Now, of course, not the point. He is walking out like that, and of course, some people being behind him. Now, of course, this is where, well, Azia kind of noticed some people, like what they call Virgo, who was actually walking along, well, this person. Now, of course, this is where Rios also noticed another person with blondish and brownish hair. Now, the person in the middle that was walking like that had fully blondish hair. And, of course, shades. Now, of course, the person with blondish and brownish hair is walking along his brother, right now having a cigarette. And of course, this is where other members are actually walking along with the car. Well, mostly beside or behind, well, this person. This is where, well, Issei is right now ripping through these Chaos members without a care in the world. And this is where he says lightning style, lightning obliteration. This is where he sends a lightning ball into multiple Chaos members, obliterate them in an instant. This is where, well, he then hears laughter, and this is where, well, he looks down and notices his older brother. This is where he transforms his body into lightning in an instant, appear right in front of, well, Dofi, and says, Dofi! This is where he hugs Dofi. This is where Dofi says, hey, Issei, it's been a while. It's been a really, really long time. This is where, oh, Issei says, yeah, I thought you weren't going to visit me. This is where, well, Dofi says, what do you mean? I am always going to visit my little brother, because you're my little brother. Who else would I visit? Rosanante, I see him on a daily basis. This is where, well, mostly on a daily, yeah, mostly daily day, but yeah. This is where, well, Rosanante just glares at Dofi, but yeah. Now, of course, they don't really see each other where mostly Rosanante kind of works, but yeah. Or kind of works in the family group, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei just grins right now happily with seeing his oldest brother right now appear. Now, of course, his oldest brother does have a suit on, like a black kind of suit with a red tuxedo. Well, mostly, not red tuxedo, yeah, a black suit with a red tux, mostly like a bow tie and all that. And of course, where he's wearing like this pink kind of like, kind of a pink fur coat behind him. Of course, wearing black pants and of course having his hair up. This is where, well, his goldenish hair up. This is where he's wearing pink shades. This is where Issei says, so, wait, what are you doing here? This is where, well, Doflamingo says, easily, helping you out, little brother. This is where, well, Issei smiles and says, really? You're gonna help me out? Well, then again, I probably won't need your help, but I really would appreciate your help. This is where, well, Dofi smiles and says, good. Now all of you attack and obliterate these members of whatever the hell they are. All of them say, aye, aye, sir. This is where all of them disappears. But yeah, this is where, well, Dofi then kind of just grabs Issei from the shoulder and says, well, mostly grabs him from the shoulder. Yeah, mostly his, like, left shoulder. And says, come on, let me meet your, what's it called, girlfriends. This is where, well, Dofi, mostly not Dofi. Issei's face becomes reddish and says, what are you talking about? I don't have anything like that. No. Oh, come on. Well, Rosinante here was telling me all of this is where Issei kind of glares at, what's it called, Rosinante? Rosinante says, hey, Brett. Don't you dare glare at me. It was an accident. I didn't really mean to tell him that. This is where, well, Dofi says, come on, Issei. You don't want your older brother to kind of see your kind of newish kind of girl, so your hero? This is where Issei says, I don't have that, no, at all. This is where Issei's face is red, but and of course having both of his hands crossed, right now showing an X and saying, no, I don't have anything like that. This is where, well, Dofi just smiles and says, like, see that group over there? This is where, well, Issei walks beside Dofi, but of course his face is nothing but red because he doesn't want to really tell Dofi that he doesn't have anything like that, which he doesn't because he doesn't really see that many people, but yeah. This is where, well, Dofi sees the barrier, and of course, this is where he pokes the barrier once and it just destroys. This is where everyone won their eyes because it was a powerful magical barrier with what's it called, both Sir Zex and even Michael and Azo, but Azo is up there right now fighting. This is where, well, the Limantic girl tries to attack, well, Issei and what's it called, Dofi, and Dofi says, get out of my way. He only glances once, and this is where a powerful pressure of Supreme King, well, mostly, yeah, Supreme King of Conquerors Hawking smashes upon her and the magic, destroying in an instant. This is where she felt this weight of power, just right now smashing her to the ground. This is where Dofi says, don't get in my way and don't you hurt my little brother, because you're nothing but just a weakling to me. This is where Dofi swings his arm up in the air, and this is where strings appear. This is where they stab upon her, and this is where Dofi says, look up towards me. He right now moves his middle finger up, mostly towards his like palm and all that. And this is where she lifted up her head, because Dofi was doing this with his strings. A weakling like you shouldn't be touching nobles like us. And if you dare to try to touch my little brother, I'll rip you to shreds. This is where, well, Dofi had this very angry expression on his look. A very scary, demonic expression. This is where Issei kind of gets scared and hide behind Rosinante a little bit. Just because he never seen his older brother this scary before. What he has is just seeing his older brother be this terrifying is something that he has really never seen. He's seen it before when he was younger, and he always got excited because Dofi was actually going to protect him. Now, of course, seeing this kind of powerful pressure appears, he kind of gets kind of nervous. But this is where Dofi says, don't worry, Issei, I'm not doing anything. This is where, well, Issei kind of just smiles at him, and yeah. This is where, well, he has this funny smile when Dofi kind of just turn around and kind of just smiles at him. This is where Issei smiles back, but yeah. This is where, well, Rosinante says, hello there. He then talks to Sir Zex and Michael. This is where Michael and Sir Zex are still surprised. Now this is where Dofi says, but I don't care in who you else fight. Touch my little brother and I'll rip you and tear you to nothing but tiny bits. This is where, well, Dofi then lift up her body with still the strings attached to her, and right now tosses her up towards where Azo's at. Azo is right now in his kind of dragon armor, and of course, this is where, well, she's up there with him. This is where Azo says, fuck it. This is where he punches her in the face right now, launching her away, but yeah. This is where Dofi glances towards Azo, but he didn't really care in what Azo was doing. This is where, well, Dofi then says, hello there, all of you. This is where, well, everyone is still pretty shocked when he destroys this fucking barrier because it was supposed to be such a powerful barrier, but yet Dofi didn't care. What Dofi did was add Armorman Hawking to destroy what's called the barrier in an instant, but not just any normal Armorman Hawking. advanced armament hawking. Now you see here, Dofi does know about advanced armament hawking. Well, in this world, not in what's it called, One Piece, not original canon, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, Dofi just kind of smiles at him, saying, "So, tell me." This is where he kind of glances at the girls and says, "So, tell me, which one is it, Issei?" Issei's face becomes red and says, "None of them." This is where, well, Issei is right now just blushing out of very much embarrassment. This is where, well, all of them are confused, but Rias and Sona kind of understand what was happening. This is where, well, they managed to catch a glimpse in the tone of how Dofi kind of put it in. This is where Issei's red was, well, mostly his face was also bright red. This is where, well, no one else managed to catch his, what's it called, Issei's face, because no one did glance at Issei when he was trying to push Dofi away. This is where, well, Rias and what's it called, Sona's face becomes red, realizing that they kind of remember that one question from Estef. Estef says, "So who would you actually date?" This is where, well, Issei's face was kind of red at that time. Or trying to be not red, but it was a tint of pink. This is where Issei said, "Brother, we should probably be helping out the others to destroy the chaos or whatever the hell their name is." This is where, well, Dofi says, "I guess you're right, but is it really necessary?" He glances towards the battlefield and sees so many Chaos members right now dying left and right. This is where, oh, he sees the magic circle up there, and this is where he only uses a bit of his Supreme Conqueror's Hawking to destroy the magic circle. This is where he says, "Done. Now the fallen and angels and devils can really fight back against these Chaos members." This is where, well, all of them are confused, but yeah. This is where, well, he's saying, he's really cool. He thinks it's in his head because, first of all, Dofi has been only shown a glimpse of his power, and this is where Issei is already so excited to see how much more powerful is his older brother. This is where, well, Dofi says, "Hey Issei, do you still have that card that I gave you?" This is where, well, Issei then nodded. He pulls that out and says, "This one?" This is where Dofi kind of takes it and changes the card to another one. This is where, well, he then gives it towards Issei, and Issei was confused. "What is this?" "Well, mostly a card that I wanted to change." You see here, the original card that was supposed to be this one, I was supposed to give you, but I kind of left it back at the family when I was at your place. And I gave you that Devilfruit. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at him, just realizing, moron. But yeah, this is where, well, Rocinante in the background says, "Idiot, idiot, are you an idiot?" This is where, well, Dofi just glares at him just because he's annoyed with that, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei then smiles and says, "It's okay, older brother, even if you forget things. I mean, I'm the same. I forget a lot of things." This is where, well, Issei's smile does brighten up everyone because, holy shit, Issei's, when he actually smiles, it's actually a gentle, kind smile. Like, actual being able to forget anything. It, like, fucking defines everything of law. This is where, well, Irene and the others are right now kind of blushing because that smile's amazing. This is where, well, Sona kind of passes out. This is where, well, Rias also passes out. This is where, well, everyone's confused in what is happening, but yeah. This is where you say, "So, Rias, Sona." This is where he realized what happened. This is where, well, he tries to actually use what's it called, his Devilfruit to see if he had any healing like Devilfruit, which he does. He just hasn't unlocked it because he hasn't been based and focused on using the healing, what's it called, not healing magic, healing Devilfruits, but yeah. This is where, well, he hasn't really awakened it. This is where Issei says, "Azia, can you help me?" This is where Azia says, "Yes." This is where she's healing them both to see if they're okay, which is where Dofi thinks in his head, "Oh, those must be the two girls. Interesting." This is where Rocinante then sees what's it called, Sona's older sister. Her name is, so of course her name is Serapha, and this is where, well, Rocinante says, "Hey Serapha." This is where Serapha says, "Oh, hey Rocinante." This is where, well, Rocinante says, "You don't seem to be wearing your actual original clothes from the last time I saw you. What happened?" This is where, well, she says, kind of tintily, kind of embarrassed, saying, "Oh, those, well, I only wear them if I was not on work. It really sucks. I don't really like wearing these clothes." That's why Rocinante says, "I like them seeing them on you." They're pretty nice on you. I pretty much like pink a little bit. So yeah, this is where, well, Sir Fox's face becomes reddish a little bit. This is where, well, Rosinante says, you actually look great on them. Besides, I'm sad that you're not wearing them, but yeah. This is where, well, Sir Fox says, you like them? This is where, well, what's it called? Rosinante says, yeah, I don't know much about magical girl, but they look pretty nice on you. This is where, well, she blushes and says, oh, interesting. This is where, well, everyone is kind of glancing. Even what's it called, Sona's queen is realizing that what's it called, Sir Fox probably found someone interesting with her. But yeah, since not many people do like what's it called, Sir Fox, what's it called, well, personally that much, but yeah, mostly some people that do like her is mostly because of their power. This is where Rosinante just likes her because she dresses up kind of cool. This is where, well, Rosinante says, yeah, oh, this is where Rosinante says, kind of embarrassedly, shake and mostly kind of scratching his back of his head. And this is where, well, Dofi says out loud, he wants to ask you out. This is where Rosinante just like drop his jaw to the ground and just glares at what's it called, Dofi. This is where Dofi just chuckles and smiles. This is where, well, Issei heard what Dofi said, and this is where, well, Sir Fox and, well, what's it called, Rosinante's faces are red. Mostly, Rosinante's angry and annoyed in how well Dofi just said that out so fucking casually. And Sir Fox is just embarrassed in the fact that, well, someone actually did ask her out. Because not many people do ask her out. This is where Rosinante says, yeah, you. This is where, well, she jumps on him and says, yes. This is where, well, Rosinante was just shocked. But this is where, well, he kind of just grins a little bit. This is where, well, everyone is just shocked and saw this cute, wholesome moment, but this is where, well, they're still in the middle of the war. Well, with the fucking Team Chaos people, but yeah. This is where, well, the Larate girl was actually killed mostly by, Azel, that one person, but yeah, that causes trouble. This is where, well, Azel was thrown down to the ground. He did lose an arm, as you mentioned. And this is where, well, not because of Volley, but yeah, the Volley was now at the ground, saying, well, mostly in the sky, saying, Red Dragon Emperor, fight me. And Issei looks up and just ignores him entirely because Issei was going back to seeing the Frias and Sona was okay. This is where, well, Vali says, what are you doing? Fight me, you bastard. Or do you want me to kill your older brother? Dofi glances up and right now uses Supreme Colors of Conqueror's Hawking to push fucking, well, Volley down to the ground. This is where Volley is right now, breathing unevenly when he feels his pressure. Dofi says, kill me. Kill me? This is where, well, Dofi is laughing, just bursts out in laughing, right now grabbing one of his eyes with his left hand. And this is where he's laughing, saying, kill me? A pathetic weakling like you, daring to try to kill me. It's the funniest shit that I ever heard. What kind of stupid ass do you think, well, do you think you are? Some retarded moron. Jesus Christ, kill me. Please. You couldn't even kill me even if I was asleep right now. You couldn't even kill me if I was still, well, a child. Please, you couldn't even kill me if I was still in my mother's womb. Please, for the love of God, shut the fuck up, rat. You're nothing but a brat who thinks he's too overconfident with power. With a bit of power from your white dragon power, whatever. Shut the fuck up. This is where Dofi was already annoyed with this person and was about to use his strings. But this is where Issei stands up and then says, brother, can I fight him? This is where, well, Dofi looks at him and says, sure, kill him. This is where, well, Issei said, understandably. This is where, well, Issei stands up. Right now his eyes are shown to be kind of a one brightish blue and one dark purplish color. This is where his card that was given by Dofi kind of activates a little bit, kind of showing to be more colorful than normal. Because it seems to just be black, but this is where it shows this instead. Issei said, no one talks shit about my older brother. And no one will ever see you live again. This is where, well, Issei's hair is starting to go angelic white. This is where, well, it starts kind of floating up. This is where, well, Issei's eyes are still glowing this powerful, brightish color of power. This is where, well, a smoky kind of cloud appears around Issei. This is where, well, Devilfruit narrows his eyes and just smiles. Right now, grins. This is where Rosinante kind of sees this power and seeing that this is not the first time Issei has done this. Issei has now went into a mostly a form that Devilfruit likes to call it incomplete. It's truly incomplete, but yeah. But this is where, well, Issei in his clothing says, I'm going to fuck you up because no one talks shit about my brothers and dare live to tell the tale. This is where, well, it's actually true because there was some, we go into a flashback of when Issei was mostly in preschool, and of course, this is where he was sad because, well, Devilfruit left, but Rosinante was still with him. Issei was bullied by some bullies saying that his older brother was nothing but a weakling and blah blah blah. And this is where Issei did have a sword, and he was enraged. Right now, one of his eyes went into a crimson red before just starting to slaughter all these people. He did slaughter an innocent life that he didn't show to care, but this is where, well, after the math, well, mostly aftermath, a bunch of people there kind of thought that he was a demon. Rosinante was only there to protect him before his parents did kind of run him out of the house. But yeah, Issei was saddened with both of his brothers being gone. But this is where, well, Issei is right now showing his eyes being a kind of brightish blue and all them other things. If you want to think about how he looks like, he'd be looking like what's called Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy's Devilfruit Nika. But it's not really the Nika Devilfruit. This is where, well, Issei, he is smiling, saying, I'm going to show you what you're messing with exactly. This is where, well, Issei disappears right in front of what's called Volley, and appears right in front of him, punching him in the stomach, destroying some of his, like, armor that was the white dragon, well, mostly the one of the heavily white dragon armor. This is where, well, he was launched to trees, and this is where Issei's hand was right now coated in this black armament hawking. This is where, well, Issei was grinning and saying, I'm not letting some weakling bitch like you dare talk shit about my brother. This is where, well, Volley gets up and says, this is not what I was expected to be fighting. Here's where the Vanishing Dragon says, yeah, I don't think we should be fighting him. He seems to be extremely pissed. This is where Volley says, well, we should probably leave. This is where Issei appears. This is where, well, Issei pulls something from a dimensional gap. Or mostly not dimensional gap. He pulls something from a rift. This is where, well, he pulls out this bottle. Well, not this even bottle. This huge bucket of pink paint. This is where, well, Volley won his eyes. Even what's it called, the Vanishing Dragon named Abion or whatever, won his eyes, even though he was inside Volley. And this is where everyone wanted their eyes. This is where Issei says, if I'm going to defeat you, I'm going to defeat that stupid pride of yours. This is where Issei laughs. This is where, oh, Issei then smashes the bucket of paint onto Volley's head, right now covering his whole armor and turning it into pink. This is where Issei lands down and starts laughing at Volley. Volley right now glares with this murderous intent to kill, well, Issei. This is where Issei says, bring it on, you weakling. I'm going to make sure that I kick your ass in the most funniest, humiliating way as possible. This is where, oh, Volley gets angry, but this is where Issei pulls out both of his swords, mostly the 1000 Demon Dagger, and also what's it called, the sword called the King of Hell, Enma. This is where he ignited with armament hawking, and this is where, well, the sword, the 1000 Demon Dagger, it turned into a brightish blue color. Well, not brightish blue, a brightish purplish color. And this is where, well, the Enma also went into a dark purplish color. This is where, oh, Issei says, I'm going to make sure you're dead forever. This is where Issei swings both of his swords right in front of him, swinging two light, like very huge light slashes that were kind of made with armament hawking. This is where Volley tries to divide. Well, mostly heavily divide. This is where, well, it didn't divide those things. Instead, it just rips through, well, Volley pretty easily. This is where Volley's armor was just cut off. This is where Volley was coughing blood because he was never expecting this power. Issei then puts both of his swords back to the sheath and rushes towards Vali. This is where, well, Issei right now puts his arm all the way, like he stretches that bitch so far. Even though he doesn't need to say the name, he just stretches it so far. And this is where, well, his hand right now, combustion, mostly is like hand, well, not his arm, mostly his hand, combusted into blue flames. And this is where, well, Issei says, fuck you and your life. This is where, well, Vali only saw a bright blue flash before he was knocked the fuck out. This is where, well, Issei did that by just swinging back his arm and punching Vali when Vali was falling down to the ground, swinging his ass straight towards multiple trees, crashing through it. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei says, fuck you, you weakling. This is where Issei was kind of still angry, and this is where Vali was knocked the fuck out. But this is where, well, that monkey guy from that whole freaking story, whatever, kind of appears, grabbing Vali and saying, we're going to need to leave. Sorry about that, to Red Dragon Emperor, but we're going to leave. Issei says, no, lightning style. 9 pillars of heaven. This is where, well, 9 pillars appear, but they're all smaller from the original pillar that Issei made. This is where Issei was about to try to surround the monkey from escaping. The monkey widened his eyes and realized there's no way to escape this. This is where Issei is trying to put enough energy and saying, I'm going to kill you. No one talks shit about my brother. No one. This is where, well, the monkey says, oh, fuck, we're dead, Vali. We need to get out of here. Damn it. This is where, well, Arthur appears saying, yeah, you two need to get out of here. This is where, well, what's it called? The monkey says, yeah, this is where he tries to take them in. And before anything else happens, Issei felt weakened and tired. This is where he falls forward, and of course, the 9 pillars are gone. But before even going, that one guy's arm, mostly Arthur's, was almost cut off. Well, thanks to someone. Well, not really Arthur. Mostly, what's it called? Arthur was actually grabbed out of the portal. Mostly the gap, what's it called? Gap thing. This is where Arthur says, damn it. This is where the monkey says, damn it. We're not going to... Shit. This is where so many members of what they call the Joker family all appear right now having those angry looks. This is where Virgo says, you dare disrespect, what's it called, Dofi-sama like that? We're gonna make sure you stay dead 6 feet under the ground. One guy says, I'm gonna make sure you stay under the fucking whole earth, you little shit. This is where, well, all of them widened their eyes and they felt the power from them. This is where, well, one person had a huge sword behind him and it says, I don't really care about Dofi-sama, but he did help me out. So I'm gonna have to take you out, swordsman. Archer says, bring it then. This is where he still has what they call the sword. And this is where, well, the swordsman pulls out a tiny sword and just rushes towards what they call Archer, stabbing him in the chest. Archer widened his eyes. He tried to swing at this person before he goes down, but of course, this is where he missed. He says, son of a bitch. He stabbed what they call the sword down to the ground, making a rift appears and making them both, well, all 3 of them fall in. This is where, well, Archer is now at, well, the base of Vali, and this is where he's breathing really hard because he was stabbed in a very vital point by this person. When I mean a vital point, it was actually missing all his organs, clearly to show that he's very Pacific, or mostly Pacific, and hitting him, well, hitting a Pacific organ. But yeah, either that or Vali thinks he's just very lucky. No, the man let him live, truly to see if he's any time stronger. This is where Arthur wanted his eyes and narrowed them really hard to the ground, realizing that he's too weak. Even against all those people, they would have whooped their ass so damn hard if it wasn't for him still holding the sword to go into the rift gate. But yeah, he doesn't even know how he was pulled out. Actually, Dofi did this on purpose. When he noticed Issei passing out, he did use it as a string to kind of grab Arthur out to make sure they pay. But of course, he wasn't expecting them to be able to make another rift portal disappear. But yeah, that's where Dofi sighs, but then just goes back to his brother. So we're going to Dofi, grabbing Issei and saying, that form still takes a lot of energy. He's tired right now. He just kind of blew out his last fume before passing out. But yeah, that's where he grabs, well, what's it called, Issei, and just carries him, giving him a piggyback ride. But yeah, this is where, well, Rocinante was happy still with his brother pretty able to kind of fight back and other things. But of course, he doesn't really want his brother to keep using that form. I know he knows that it's kind of imperfect, and he knows that, well, not the original user, mostly the user of the Devilfruit that's still alive in it, is kind of helping Issei not really die, mostly. Not use too many attacks at once. But yeah. Since Issei at that time was still unconsciously using this power. But yeah. This is where, Dofi says, well, we should bring him back to the house. But yeah. We go into a time skip of, that happening. But of course, is where, the house is actually repaired overnight, mostly fixed to become bigger. Now, of course, the alliance with the angels and devils and fallen angels was still a thing. But of course, is where that whole house of where the Hyodos kind of live, kind of changed. This is where when Issei woke up, he felt a lot of people in his bed. More people than usual. This is where when he opened both of his eyes and looks down, he saw so many people well clothed. They were mostly all females. They all had different colors of hair. But of course, this is where, Issei was just so damn tired and confused. But this is where he widened his eyes and realized what was happening. Mostly, the the OFCR or whatever the hell it's called. Also, Rios was next to him, and even next to the other side was Junko, and of course, mostly the side of Junko was Estef, mostly Sasuke, and others. This is where Issei widened his eyes and realizing what they're doing here. This is where who was actually on top of him wasn't Rios or even Azia, but was Sona. This is where Issei said, "What are they doing here?" He's right now just all red on his face because he wasn't expecting to all be here. Even Irina was here, and this is where Issei was just blushing like mad. This is where Issei says, I need to get out of here. This is where Issei tries to kind of use room, but he feels too tired to use even room. This is where he says, damn it, I need out of here. This is where, Issei realized he needs to use Sebastian so fast, so of course, he then says, room. This is where he switches body with the pillow. This is where Sona is still thinking that she's on top of Issei. Issei says, well, at least I get to the bathroom. Issei gets to the bathroom, and of course, this is where, Issei said locked. This is where Issei says, hey, motherfucker, who's in there? This is where, the person says, Issei, are you awake? This is where Issei says, Dofi, what are you doing in the bathroom? This is where, Dofi says, I'm just living with you now. Or now for just a little bit. This is where, Issei says, Are you serious? This is where Dofi gets out. Of course, he was kind of, mostly using the number 1 bathroom, but yeah, he was just peeing. But of course, where, Dofi gets outside and says, yo. This is where, Issei widens his eyes and hugs him. This is where Issei still feels a little bit weakened and sore from his body, but this is where Issei doesn't care. Dofi says, I'm guessing that you managed to get out of your imprisonment. Well, in any other case, it would have been heaven for people. But it seems imprisonment for you, isn't it? Issei's face becomes red and says, You saw that, didn't you? Of course, there were mostly the girls that volunteered to be with you. And I didn't stop them from getting into your room. I instead made sure that the door was open. This is where Issei widened his eyes and lowered his eyes at Dofi. This is where, Dofi says, oh, come on. You can't be like that, Issei. You can always have multiple girls. Maybe you can definitely bring grandkids towards your parents. This is where, Issei does kind of feel a little bit hurt because he only said to your parents, Dofi said. Because Dofi isn't really a part of the family. Well, he is. It's just, his parents kind of ran him out. Now, of course, Issei says, they're not parents of mine. This is where, Dofi says, yeah, you can say that. I know that you still hate them a lot for a lot of things and what happened back then. But, even though I don't hate them that much, I still want you to be happy. So what are you even doing here? Issei says, oh shit, I still gotta use the bathroom. Issei kind of pushes Dofi out of the way and uses the bathroom. This is where Dofi just chuckles. But yeah, this is where we go into a time skip of everyone kind of waking up and getting towards mostly the kitchen. Of course, where, well, Issei's parents were shocked to believe that they managed to get their house renovated, even though they were asleep most of the time. But yeah, that was because they were actually silent, or mostly having a silent barrier over them. Mostly thanks to a Creamery worker, or mostly from a, well, not Creamery, mostly Gray Sophie was actually using a silent barrier over them, but Rosinante was kind of using a silent bubble over them, so the only thing they heard was their sleep. But yeah, this is where everything was fixed and made bigger. Pretty damn big. This is where, well, when Issei's parents noticed what's called Dofi and also what's called Rosinante, they just couldn't believe that, well, their children are going to live back with them for a little bit. Issei is right now happy in being next to his brothers, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, Issei is right now not in the middle between his two brothers. He's actually sitting next to his, what's it called, older brother named Dofi, or also known as the Flamingo Hyoto, but yeah. And of course, in the other side of Dofi is Rosinante Hyoto, who's actually sitting next to his actual kind of girlfriend now. Mostly Sarafall. But yeah. Of course, we're in the other side of, well, mostly, since the table has become bigger, in multiple sides of mostly around God Issei, mostly the other girls are sitting. Who is actually sitting next to him is what they call Rias, but yeah. This is where, well, even though Issei's parents kind of just doesn't want Dofi or even what's it called Rosinante here, they're still kind of happy a little bit. They're overjoyed with their house being built to be bigger, but of course, they're also happy for Issei to maybe be able to bring more grandchildren than they ever thought. That's why Issei's face is all red, but yeah. Dofi is chuckling. This is where, well, Issei's parents are kind of just chuckling, but yeah. This is where, well, most of the other girls are kind of embarrassed, but yeah. Sir Dofi says, you know, Rosinante will also bring you grandkids. You don't want grandkids from him or what? This is where, well, Issei's parents sighs and says, we do. This is where Rosinante's face becomes red and says, shut up, all of you. This is where, well, he's still holding on to Sarafall, but yeah. Sarafall has always kind of been with him for a while, but yeah. This is where, well, Rosinante kind of comes down, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, we go into a time skip of going back to the school, and of course, where, well, Issei kind of realized, well, summer break is almost over, and they are about to get towards the underworld. But yeah, but other than that, I'm going to end it off here for part 3 of What If Issei Had a God Devilfruit. But other than that, yeah, I'm also going to do another What If later on if I can do that, but I don't know if I can. But other than that, let me kind of end that off here. But yeah, bye.